Say roll around, sitting on doves, can't lie, I was high.
Hey guys, welcome back to Send It Topical. Nate here with Strange Wing and Chris from the Beer, Bacon, and Bros podcast. More about that at the end of the video. And today we are coming at you, we're actually ranking every single Marvel movie, all 23 of them. So how we're going to do it is each of us are going to pretty much just breeze through our bottom 13. Not going to talk about them too much. We might have one comment or two throughout that. But then we're going to give our top 10. And as we give at the end, after we give our top 10, we'll consider each other's top 10s, and we're going to make a definitive top 10 list for the MCU at the end of the video. So make sure you stick around for that. Strange Wing, take us away.
Alrighty. My least favorite Marvel movie of all time is going to be Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Wow.
Nothing new. It's just repetitive, cliche bullshit that we had to watch that had no point, just to throw in an end cameo or whatever. Guardians of the Galaxy 2. How the fuck do you waste Tango and Cash? You have Kurt Russell, Sylvester Stallone, and you fucking waste them? Iron Man 2, Thor, The Incredible Hulk, Iron Man, Captain Marvel, Thor 2, Doctor Strange Wing, Avengers, Captain America, Age of Ultron, and Far From Home.
Guardians of the Galaxy 2 is kind of low for me.
Yeah?
Oh my gosh. So I'll admit Guardians of the Galaxy 2 is not as good as Guardians of the Galaxy 1.
Clearly! No debating!
But to be you had it second worst?
Yeah. The fight scene and then was wasted. Like, they rushed through the father-son relationship. You wasted Kurt Russell and Sylvester Stallone.
Yeah.
But you rushed the fight and then threw in a Pac-Man reference. That was
A giant Pac-Man reference.
I thought that was terrible.
Woo.
All right.
Woo. Okay.
Give us your bottom 13 there, big guy.
Hulk is absolutely the worst. I think most people will agree with me. Hulk is the worst. I did not like Iron Man 3. It's not that it wasn't a decent movie. It just felt like it didn't really fit in. And I get the whole creating the suit of armor led into Ultron eventually, but personally, I felt like it was I felt like they had to make an Iron Man 3. They felt like they had to make an Iron Man 3, and that's why they made an Iron Man 3. Wasn't a big fan of Thor. Thor 2 follows right up behind that. Spiderman Far From Home, which just came out, I didn't like. Civil War just didn't live up to the hype for me. Literally. Doctor Strange, Ant-Man, Iron Man 1, Captain Marvel, Ant-Man and the Wasp. Now, Guardians of the Galaxy 2 fit in right there at the 12th best for me instead of being the second worst for him. And then Spider-Man Homecoming at 11.
So let me get this straight.
Captain America Civil War?
Civil War is your 5th worst Marvel movie.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't get me wrong. I'm a big Captain America fan.
I'm so interested in hearing your top 10.
Okay. Go ahead.
There were so many issues. I don't even know what to get into. I was blown away by...
Go ahead.
I was just here. I don't like it, but I was still Civil War, really? Jesus.
Okay. We'll get into that later because
Okay.
I'm 100% sure that that's at least top 5 for me and him.
That's a fact.
All right. Incredible Hulk's at the bottom of mine. It's a bad movie, and because of the actor change, it doesn't feel like it fits into the MCU for me at all. Thor Dark World, Age of Ultron, Iron Man 2, Ant-Man and the Wasp, Guardians 2, Captain Marvel, Thor, Iron Man 3, Doctor Strange, Black Panther, Ant-Man, and Far From Home are my bottom 13. So,
All right. Bring it on. Let's go.
Black Panther was in your top 5 when we did our second ever video.
it's just
It was in the top 5. What changed?
I've watched some of them a lot more since then. Some more have come out since then, but I think only one of them that's come out. 2 of them that have come out since
3.
Black Panther. No, I'm saying only. Wait,
There's
sorry.
been 4 movies since Black Panther.
I know. I'm trying to figure out how many of those movies are in my top 5 now.
Yeah, they didn't make top 10.
The more it sits with me, so it just makes me angry. The more I think about Black Panther, the more angry I get. A, because the rhinos are still fucking stupid, and that drives me insane. I hate those rhinos. And B, it's just it's a good movie, but what kills it for me is how they just wasted Killmonger. He was such a good villain and one of my favorite actors that's currently acting. So it loses so much value for me because they killed off Killmonger after one movie of such a great villain. And their whole their big fight at the end where they're both suited up, I feel like it's poorly shot. It's over CGI'd. It's hard to tell who's in what suit just because like one has a little bit of orange outline and one has a little bit of purple
So
outline.
you're saying all Black Panthers look alike?
All right, so now that we got the bottom 13 out of the way, we're going to go down the line. Everyone's going to do their 10 through 6, and we'll probably spend a little more time talking about them at this point. So Wang.
Iron Man number 10. Let's started it off. Kind of have to. That's why it's in there. Infinity War number 9. You knew what was going to happen, but a couple, like the scene with Thanos throwing his kid off the bridge, probably one of my favorite Marvel scenes. Black Panther at number 8. Michael B. Jordan's performance. Homecoming. I'm a huge Spiderman guy. Michael Keaton as a villain, knocked out of the park. Ant-Man. They showed they can make a different movie. They made a heist film, so I thought that was amazing. And I believe that is top 5. I mean, 6 through 10 for me.
Okay.
You want me to go?
Yep.
All right, so
10 through 6.
Iron Man 2 at 10. I actually thought it was the best of the Iron Man movies.
What movie?
Iron Man 2. Yeah? No? No? No?
You felt like Iron Man 2 is better than the first Iron Man?
I do, yeah.
That was my third worst.
Tell me more.
You really want me to tell you more like right now?
Yeah, I mean, like, keep it kind of condensed, but I'm interested.
I felt like, all right, so I like, and I don't know his name, but the guy that plays Rhodey now. Not the first one in the first Iron Man, but the guy that plays Rhodey and War Machine in the second Iron Man.
Not Terrence Howard.
Yeah.
But Cuba Gooding Jr.
Yeah, Cuba Gooding
I'm just
Jr.
kidding. I don't know who you're
I was like, I don't know who his name is. Whatever his name is. I like him better as War Machine. And I felt like he had a more important part in the second Iron Man. I felt like the play up of Tony, like, you know, struggling. You had Black Widow get introduced. I don't know. I just felt like in general it was a better movie with more action to it. Also, probably. Would you say there's more action in Iron Man 2 than there was in Iron Man?
I guess.
That's just kind of my perspective on it. I think just the character base made it more.
So you're saying it feels more like what we're used to today with all the characters. Is that what I'm getting?
Yeah, probably.
And Don Cheadle's his name.
Don Cheadle, thank you.
Cuban
So,
Jr.
So Captain America 1 at 9. Y'all probably not surprised by that at all.
No.
For me, that's when I got introduced to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. That is why I'm a Captain America fan. That was the very first Marvel movie I ever watched. That it speaks to me as a person. Thor 3 at 8. I really enjoyed the new kind of version of Thor than Thor 1 and 2. Like the funny, laid back, you know, not I'm so freaking mighty kind of Thor. Black Panther at 7. I really enjoyed the Black Panther movie. I do agree with you about them killing off Killmonger in one movie. Yeah. You know who else I don't like to see go? Ulysses Claw. I really thought they could have built on that more. And then Age of Ultron at 6.
Number 10 for me is the first Avengers. It's the first time I get to see them all on screen. I don't feel comfortable saying like it hasn't aged as well, but it definitely feels more like they've gotten more serious with like every movie we see all the Avengers in. It just gets like a little more and more dark, a little more and more serious. And the darkest moment in that movie is like, oh, they kind of disagree with each other, and then like Iron Man kind of sort of almost dies at the end, but like that happens in like, you know, so it was a lot lighter, and I like the heavier stuff. So, but it's still really good. So Avengers. Number 9 for me is the first Guardians of the Galaxy.
9?
9. Yeah, makes me laugh. Love that movie. So where it loses points with me is like I just can't. Both Guardians movies have done this for me. They have been like I watch like 3/4 of the movie and I'm like, I love this. This is going to be great. This is going to be in my top 5. This might be these might be some of my favorite characters in this universe. And then they always just do something stupid and hokey at the end. Ragnarok is also my number 8. That movie is so funny. Taika Waititi is 100% God's gift to the MCU. Anything he touches, I want to watch now. Even outside of the MCU, we're both really excited for Jojo Rabbit.
You're enjoying about Hitler.
Sort of. Number 7 is Captain America: The First Avenger, and number 6 is the first Iron Man.
Did you have You had First Avenger higher than I did.
Yeah. What was it for you?
I had 9. Yeah.
Well,
it was a good movie, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was great.
It was a good movie.
Yeah, not a huge fan of like Red Skull, because I also feel like that's a wasted talent. And
I love how they brought him back.
I love how they brought him back too.
I'm with him 100% of the way.
Your number 5.
5 and 4, it's going to be Guardians of the Galaxy. I enjoyed that movie a ton. This was kind of like the raunchiest MCU we got so far, and it didn't feel like an MCU movie, so that's why I enjoy it. I can go back, look on it, and be like, they had less rules, and I like it. Endgame, number 4, you knew what was going to happen. Like, you got to get these contracts done, you know? Your contract's up, you're dying, or something's happening to you. It was predictable in that way, but it was still a very fun experience. And finally, you put a cap on a movie. That's my problem with a lot of these MCU movies. They don't have a beginning and end. You get an ending, but then you get a whole other story that you can't watch for 2 years. So I'm glad to finally have a definitive end to this saga for now. And then that's my 5 and 4. Your 5 and 4.
Winter Soldier, which for me, like the first Russo brothers movie, I think they like. I went into Winter Soldier thinking that there was no way it would be better than, you know, like the first Avengers movie or Captain America 1, but I mean they blew Winter Soldier out the way. Like I still have the recording of Winter Soldier on my DVR.
You don't want to take it off your DVR?
Yeah, like I won't, because I love watching Winter Soldier that much.
You don't own the movie?
Not yet. I'm actually thinking about. I'm waiting to see. Do y'all think they will come out with a full 23 pack?
I hope they will. I'm going to get it.
Yeah, I'm going to. No matter what. Sorry, Sydney. And
You've been waiting out a long time for that one.
Yeah, I mean, but like Winter Soldier to me, and it may just be me just because I'm a Captain America fan. Like they lived up to the hype with that one. And then Avengers 1 is at 4 for me because I still think, you know, just like you said, there wasn't a whole lot of darkness to it. But the moment that they came together, I think it became real for everybody. Like, this is going to be something that is going to be successful, and we're going to buy in for the next 7 years, has it been? 7 years? 2012 was when Avengers 1 came out, I think?
Mundo.
Yeah.
So 7 years worth of waiting till, you know, the big one.
So my number 5 is Spider-Man Homecoming. I love Tom Holland as Spider-Man. I think that he is the complete package as far as Peter Parker and Spider-Man goes. I hope that Disney whips out their fat-ass wallet and buys him back soon.
One more thing.
Michael Keaton delivers in a big way. Like, his character is so relatable, you know, in that, like, he's just, like, as such a low-stakes villain, you know, ultimately. It's like he's not trying to conquer the world. He's just trying to provide for his family. Yeah. And, you know, doesn't have a problem killing a teenager to do it. You know, he's just a victim of capitalism. It's really, when it comes down to it, is all it is. And then my number 4 is...
I want to piggyback real quick.
Go for it.
Out of all the Spider-Man movies we've ever had, that Spider-Man has the best taste in women.
You do love the spices.
You're a fucking pig.
So Spider-Man Homecoming is my number 5. Infinity War is my number 4. I think I feel the way about Infinity War that you feel about Endgame, in that, like, to me, it felt like that was the predictable one.
Well, that one's kind of predictable, too.
Where it was like, you know, we're making this to set up Endgame, and we knew it was going to be a 2-part closure to everything. We all, like, you know, I didn't read comics, but I listened to enough, like, YouTube channels and stuff of people who do read comics to know, like, the whole point of all of this is that if Thanos gets all the things and snaps his fingers, then half the people go away. And, like, it's like, oh, well, that's probably going to happen. Because, like, that would make sense. Especially if they're going to make 2 whole-ass movies and we know he's the villain in both of them. Like, he's probably going to win in this one. It was really fun predicting, like, who was going to die and all that kind of stuff. Because, like, that was the unpredictable part, is who is going to get snapped away. Who. But it was still really, really well made. I love the tension between all the characters because it's like they're still broken up at this point and, like, you know, having to decide, do we want to work with each other to try to come this? You have all these, like, different little factions coming together, like Cap and Bucky are hanging out in Wakanda and, like, all this kind of stuff. So, still really, really good. A little on the predictable side for me, so Infinity War is my number 4.
Alrighty, my number 3 is going to be Ragnarok. I love the tone of this movie. You have one of the most beautiful people in the world. Not even just women, people.
Chris Hemsworth?
The Rock's a handsome man. But Tessa Thompson.
Taika Waititi?
Oh my goodness.
Because he plays the big rock guy.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, Tessa Thompson. What a babe. just like the tone, the humor, how you have him and Hulk play off of each other.
Yeah.
And then you have him and Loki play off each other. You get so many different relationships with Thor in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
And Jeff Goldblum.
I was about to say, there's no way you don't talk about Jeff
That
Goldblum.
guy's the best. Winter Soldier's number 2. Like I said, for Ant-Man, I keep getting the same fucking movie in these 23 movies. And then you give me a different type of movie. This one's a spy movie. And I'm like, holy shit, I don't really like spy movies, but this movie kicks ass.
Mm-hmm.
So, and there's a Pulp Fiction reference at the end. So,
Yeah.
I fucks heavy with that.
Right.
Just like, they gave me a different movie, and it's fresh. It made me like Captain America. He became my favorite Avenger after this movie. So, and Robert Redford, what a great performance.
Yeah.
Phenomenal actor, like, no doubt.
Mhm.
But you throw a lot of good actors into these movies, and it's just like, okay, they're there for a paycheck, you know? They're not phoning it in, but they're not acting as much as they usually do. And Redford, he killed it, so that's my number 2.
You sure he didn't start liking Captain America until after he met me? And then
I hate to tell you this, bud, but he doesn't even really like the MCU at all.
Or
So-
America. So,
gosh. So number 3, Guardians 1. I loved Guardians 1. And I can actually still remember the first time I watched Guardians 1. It was at a drive-in movie theater at the Big Mo. And I went...
Was that story you were telling me before we started?
No, different story.
I'm like, is that possibly 6?
No, that's a different story. But actually, Sydney and I went to watch Winter Soldier.
Okay.
And they were like, well, they're putting 2 Marvel movies together. And
Uh-huh.
we're like, oh, cool. You know, because the Big Mo actually shows 2
Yeah,
movies.
you get a double feature every time
Yeah.
you go to the Big Mo.
So, like, we're like, all right, cool, we'll watch the other Marvel movie. And I'm not going to lie to you, at the time, like, I watched Winter Soldier and I was like, wow, this is freaking awesome. Like, I'm not even going to stay for the second movie. And we watched Guardians, we stayed through the whole movie. Like, it was
Yeah.
fantastic. So, and I didn't even know a lot about Guardians at the time. And then I went home, did research, you know, yada, yada, yada. But I loved Guardians 1. I thought they lived up to it, except for the ending. I can't agree with you more. The whole in-battle scene and Ronan, it like... Because if you watch any like the cartoon Avengers series, like I got into on Netflix because there's like 7 of them on there. Like one of them has Ronan coming in, and that's when they introduced Captain Marvel to the Avengers and everything like that. And that played off of like a 1970 something comics as well. But you know, I think there's just so much more that could have been done with Ronan. Infinity War was number 2. It was hard for me between 1 and 2, but Infinity War was number 2 for me. And the more I sit here, the more I want to say Infinity War should have been number 1. But at the same time, like, the ending for me was big. And you know, so, but just the whole bringing everything together, the major cast that they brought together, the amount of money they pushed into it.
Yeah.
I will go on record, and y'all have this. The greatest moment in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, to me, is when Thor enters the battlefield in Wakanda with Rocket and Groot.
That's pretty cool.
That is like the most, I don't want to say the greatest, but like the most epic moment in the entire MCU, all 23 movies.
I'm going to counter that with my number 1, but
Go
I feel
ahead.
you. But
Go
I feel
ahead.
you.
Like I mean, just that the whole Stormbreaker coming down, cutting people up, and just catching it, and then the music drops and everything. Like I literally will go on Netflix and watch Infinity War just for that 2-minute segment sometimes.
Sure.
Just live it over.
My number 3 is Winter Soldier. I agree with Strange Wang. I love it when they switch up the genres of these MCU movies. So many of them are kind of wash, rinse, repeat-esque with the whole, like, the villain is always just kind of like a mirrored version of the good guy. And, like, and this is definitely, it just has such a different tone. You know, like, your main villain is actually, like, ultimately going to end up being a good guy. And it's just, like, you find out about all this weird, like, subterfuge plot with Hydra, and it's like, I mean, you could have easily just kind of thought that we were done with Hydra after like the first Avenger and stuff like that, but it's like, no, like these motherfuckers been working shit underground the whole damn time. Like, in fact, they're like in control of S.H.I.E.L.D. What the fuck? Like, this is crazy. So the whole espionage like element and like all that kind of stuff that like starts there and then bleeds into Civil War. And then, yeah, like, Cap's relationship with Bucky and, like, trying to fight to save him. I love Nick Fury in that movie, you know, that kind of stuff. It was great. Number 2, which, like, I don't understand how this is so low on your list. So number 2 for me is Civil War. And for the longest time, it was my number 1. This movie is great. It's so close to, like, being... I don't know, like I feel like I hold MCU and comic book movies in general to a different standard than other movies. So I'm going to use the word close to perfect. But understand, I don't mean close to perfect in the way that, like, Jaws is close to perfect, or Raiders of the Lost Ark is close to perfect. So, like, I want to be really clear about that. But, like, as far as, like, these movies go, this movie is so close to perfect. Like, the build-up between all of it, the tension, finding out that, like, even though it wasn't really him, like, you know, in control of it, that Bucky's the one who killed Tony Stark's parents. Like this movie, this is when the MCU starts to get dark. You know, and I feel like it kind of hits in Winter Soldier some, but this is when they start to take those big leaps into, like, some more mature territory and stuff like that. But at the same time, you balance that matureness with introducing Peter into it, who's just, like, this light, innocent kid. Like, he's just so fucking stoked that he gets to go be a part of this. But he doesn't even really know, like, how serious all this shit really is. He just knows, holy shit, I got to fucking take Captain America's shield from him. Like... This is the best day ever. You know, he's just so hyped to get involved. You get to start his relationship with Tony, which ends up being a huge part of the later movies. We get introduced to Black Panther, who is a badass character, even though I think they botched his movie a little bit. But then, like, that whole infight between the two of them, like, it sucks because it's like, I love both of these characters so much, and I hate that, like, it's come to this. But... that speaks to how good the movie is also, or the whole series is, because it's like, you got me invested enough into these characters to where I hate watching them fight.
What else?
You know, you throw in, like, the Zemo stuff, which that guy gives a stellar performance as that character. He's such, like, a, like, he's the weakest villain in the MCU, physically, you know? Like, this guy can't fight them, you know?
Have you ever seen comic book Zemo, though?
No.
Like in the purple outfit with the sword and everything?
No, but we're talking about MCU movies.
Yeah. I'm just excited he's coming
Like,
back. For
he's
those.
just, I'm fucking smarter than you, and I set this shit up, and I won. I might be dead, but I won, and that's the point. So,
Dead, I don't think.
well, you know,
He's not dead. He's back in the...
I know he's not dead, but they
He tried to
why'd you
kill
say he was
himself.
dead?
He tried to...
I said might be.
Yeah, he tried to kill himself with the when Black Panther put his hand over the gun. But he's back for the Winter Soldier and Falcon series.
So yeah, Civil War, good shit.
Well, it was Solo on your list. I'm gonna say I'm not shitting you, bud. You're my favorite turd. Civil War's number one for me. So what he said and combined that with Zemo, it was an unexpected victory. Like, who would have thought that guy would have won?
Yeah.
I didn't go in that movie even knowing he was in the movie, and then he wins. And then you have the two greatest fight scenes to me. You have Avengers versus Avengers.
On top of that,
You have Bucky and Cap versus Iron Man, and they're throwing the shield back and forth. So, the most action, the most comic book like this is like a cartoon come to life, and it works. It was believable because usually this movie's like he's flying around on a green screen, but I was just so invested, like because the expectation wasn't high for it. I was so into this movie. Anytime I watch it, I'm so into it. So, investment wise. Performance-wise, like he said, Spiderman, Black Panther, first time out, killed it. You had a new side of the Bucky, killed it. Sebastian Stan, he's one of my favorite actors out now. Everything he does is pretty damn good. So, just overall, everything in this movie hits out of 10 for me.
you got some splaining to do.
Like, the reason Civil War is so low for me is that I went in with such a high expectation. And I think maybe it just didn't deliver for me. Like I told you earlier, it felt like an Avengers movie. It was their take at making Avengers 3 without having to make Avengers 3, right? And the battle scene at the airport in Germany was fantastic, and then the in-battle scene with Cap was fantastic. And I don't know, maybe because I separated myself so much to be on Cap's side and, like, hating to see that the other half of the Avengers didn't, like, come to an understanding with it, and it ended up falling out on all this, and then, you know, Cap drops the shield, leaves it, and you know, it's like, all right, Tony, the Avengers are yours. You know, like maybe that's.
So you may be a little overly personally invested.
Well, how many
And that
times
may
have
be
you
true.
watched it?
That may be true.
Huh?
How many times have you watched it?
Probably 3-4 times.
And it hasn't went out your mind yet, that investment?
Even though you
Not
know
really.
that everything works out.
Because
it felt. So the other thing is, it felt dull outside of the battle scenes. Like, it felt boring to me outside of the battle scenes. And Ultron didn't give me that. Like the Avengers: Age of Ultron didn't feel boring to me outside of the battle scenes.
Well, I agree about that. I liked Ultron. I think we might be the only two, but
yeah, I mean, I don't know. Maybe just personal taste, I guess. Endgame for me was one, and I think it's just because of like what you mentioned earlier, all of it coming to an end, and I felt like I went into that movie thinking there's, all right, first Cap's dying, Iron Man's dying, Thor's dying. Like, I'm not going to enjoy this movie because I'm going to watch my favorite superhero of all time die, right? And Cap didn't die. And, sorry, spoiler alerts, by the way. Y'all put a spoiler alerts in.
It's been long enough. If they haven't seen it, the movie is out. It is available
on Redbox at this point.
Yeah,
he gets a hammer.
So that was fantastic. But what I actually really, really, really enjoy about Endgame the most, and this is why I think it's the most, or it's the best movie in the MCU across all 23, is because they tied everything in together. Like, people, if you've never watched all the movies, you don't get all the things that are in Endgame. Like, even at the very end, and I thought about it the other day when I was watching Endgame on Redbox for the first time when I got on Redbox. But literally, like, in Avengers 1 in 2012, Cap and Tony are going at it, right? The very first feud that they get into, and he's telling Tony, you don't have the ability to sacrifice your life and lay down and let somebody else crawl over you, was his quote. And he said, Rogers, there's nothing special about you outside of the super soldier serum. Everything special about you came out of a bottle.
Yeah.
And at the end of Endgame, Captain America is literally wielding Mjolnir. He's worthy enough to wield Mjolnir. And Tony
literally
sacrifices his life for everybody. So just the way that they played everything in. And, I've watched so many controversial videos about why Cap gets to wield the hammer and what made him worthy in Endgame, but didn't make him worthy in Age of Ultron, which I don't think he wasn't worthy in Age of Ultron. We'll get into that, I guess.
Yeah.
But the way they could not have ended Endgame better, in my personal opinion. They couldn't have ended this saga better.
Sure. Yeah. I feel you. Endgame is also my number one.
Well, that's an interesting point. I never thought about that.
What?
About
what made him worthy in this and not in that?
I always thought it's because in the words of Face Rider Adam, he's a fucking virgin.
Well, my thing is that makes him worthy.
He's not a virgin if you watch Winter Soldier correctly. He said it's not the first. Anyways, go ahead.
His hand doesn't count. That's America's hand.
Wow.
So, Endgame is my number one. I mean, honestly, like, the deciding, what pushed it over Civil War for me is, I love Civil War. Civil War didn't make me cry. I cried multiple times during Endgame.
Bawled, baby.
And, like, when I say cried, I didn't bawl until the end. I did, like, cry at the end. But, like, there were so many, like, tears welling up moments in that movie. And when I say so many, I mean, like, 4. But, like, that's a lot for one movie, And, like, even at the beginning, and, like, I've grown. So, all right, here's an interesting thing about the MCU, a decent point to make. It has been 11 years since these movies started. So, like, they've evolved, but, like, God, I mean, how much have you grown as a person in 11 years, So, like, I'm a much more empathetic and, like, soft-hearted person than I was in 2008 when I was graduating high school.
You're old!
I got emotional, like, in the beginning when Hawkeye starts losing his family and realizes that they're gone. Like, because I just can't even imagine. Like,
it's like, goddamn, he don't get his own movie, he don't get a family now. Fuck, man.
Like, so I've just got, like, my ability to put myself in other people's shoes has grown. So it's just like, and, like, my views on, like, the socio-political climate in America has changed. So, like, even when, like, all the female characters got their one moment, I was like, ugh, shout out to you guys. Like, you got your thing. So, like, this movie, it hits me in the heart a lot. And I agree with you. It was a wonderful way to wrap everything up. We've been friends for a long time. And we've kind of always had this, like I've always identified as Iron Man. And you've kind of always identified a little more as Cap. In that, like, you are generally, like, a very innocent and wholehearted, like, good-hearted person, and I'm an arrogant shit.
Egotistical.
Yeah.
Philanthropist.
But, like, so, unfortunately, neither a billionaire or a philanthropist. Occasionally a playboy. It just depends on the day. Shout out to Chris's stepsister. What?
You were saying.
Yeah, I know. So, like, getting him to watching Tony go out the way that he did, being the egotistical one, being the one that everyone is like, he's just such a smartass. He only cares about himself, blah, blah, blah. And, like, just getting to see how much really everything that he has ever done has just been for the benefit of humanity as a whole. Like, getting to watch... I watched Endgame, and 2 days later I watched Iron Man. Like, the first one.
Oh, isn't it great?
And getting to watch, like, who he was as a person in Iron Man versus who he was in Endgame is so great because it's like, I feel that. And, like, yeah, I identified with you in 2008 when I watched you as Iron Man because I am also a smartass who does not give a shit what people think about me. But I've also grown into this person who would happily, at least I think, give up my life to save the people that I care about.
Yeah.
And, like, that was just fucking dope. You made your comment about how Thor coming in Infinity War you feel like is like the most badass, like, cool
you have to
moment.
think Tony Snap, yeah.
Well, but like to me, that moment when all the, like, I don't even know what the fuck you call them, but like all the Doctor Strange people start opening up those portals though, and like everyone just starts fucking rolling in
on your left,
and like Cap gets his whole little like Avengers.
Assemble moment.
Yeah, and it's like they did it so perfect. They didn't do it the cheesy ass way.
So you didn't like this? I wanted to scream. I wanted a Captain
really?
America. Yeah.
No.
Yeah, you wanted
Fuck
the opposite?
That like, to me, that would have felt cheesy. It would have felt like... It would have felt cartoonish and comic booky, which I know is silly to say because it is, in fact, a comic book movie. But, like, I feel like it was perfect because it's like... He's fucking exhausted from battle. Like, he just went through fucking hell and back to get these people to come back. And now people are about to try to snap him away again. And all this other kind of shit. So, like, I feel like the way that they had him deliver that line was perfect. Just like I feel like Tony's I am Iron Man line at the end was perfect. Because it's like, they weren't these, like, crazy battle cries. It was just like, we're fucking tired and we're fucking exhausted. But, like, we about to win this shit.
But wait! There's more!
Alright, so basically what we're going to do now is you've heard our lists, but we want to come up with some sort of combined, more definitive, absolute list. There's definitely going to be probably a little bit of arguing in this.
Let them fight.
What we're going to try to do is we're going to try to make an, using all three of our lists, combine them into one more definitive, less biased top 10. So trying to think of movies... All right, my number 10 was Avengers. Where did y'all have Avengers?
I had it at, like, Avengers 1?
Yeah.
I had it at 4.
14.
At 4 and 14? Okay. I mean, well, considering that, does...
Probably leave it at 10. Then,
leave it at 10? Okay.
Opinion.
All right, so...
Alright, because let's put it on side for now. Oh, that works.
No.
Iron Man was my number 10.
Iron Man is my number 6, so we're kind of in the same ballpark there.
It was my...
So if it's top 10 for you, it definitely makes the list.
Yeah, it was my 15. So, I mean, it's probably fair going to 9 then.
Okay. Do we feel like Iron Man should be above Avengers?
Yeah, I feel like you guys had it closer. It was his 15, it was my 14. So I guess Avengers 9.
Yeah. Avengers 9, Iron Man 10.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because you said it was your 14?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm good with that.
And you guys had it in top 10. Civil War, let's get this out that fucking way. Number 1, number 2, 15, you said, right? 18.
18. Yeah.
So where's this ranking?
Put it at 5.
No, I got not.
I don't... yeah. I mean... all right. Well, where do you have Endgame? Let's go ahead and start at the top. Because both of us have Endgame at 1.
The game is 4.
Endgame was at 4 for you?
Yeah.
All right. So
Do we
go ahead
all
and put
have
Endgame
any
1.
3, the same movie in the same, in top 3?
Do you have Infinity War in the top 3?
No, I have Cap 2 in the top 3. And Civil War in the top.
I have
Ragnarok.
Winter Soldier at 5. And you had Winter
I
Soldier
have Winter
at 3,
Soldier
right?
at 3. What did you have Winter Soldier as?
2.
It's probably a 3 then.
Okay, so we'll start with Winter Soldier at 3.
Yeah.
I think, math-wise, I think that's number 1. We all have it closest to the front.
Well, no, Endgame is
that-
1, right?
I have Endgame at 4.
Well, we both have it at 1.
Okay. Then,
I was about to say, you got to give that some weight, the fact that we both had it at number 1.
Okay, yeah.
Do you have Guardians in there?
Guardians as number 5.
Where did you have Guardians?
Guardians was actually out of my top 10, I think.
Oh, okay. Then never mind.
Then
I
guess that's
had
8.
Guardians 3.
You had it 3?
Yeah.
Wait, no, Guardians is my number 9.
So that's 8.
Yeah, that's great.
That's probably
Yep.
Ragnarok was my number 3. Is it in either of you guys' list?
It's an 8 to me.
Yeah, Ragnarok is my number 8 as well.
So 7 for that.
Yeah.
Cap 2, we got that on there.
Yeah.
Civil War. Where do you have Civil War at?
5.
Hang on a second.
He's got it at 2. You
Yeah.
got it at 1.
I feel like that's number. No, because Civil War.
We all agreed on Winter Soldier more than we did Civil War. So if you're gonna put, you can't put.
I
Civil
feel like
War
4.
above Winter Soldier.
4.
4's fine. I'll give it 4.
Okay.
All right, so Civil War is number 4.
Yeah, Endgame's 1. Go ahead and put those 2 in there.
Where do you guys have Infinity War?
It's my number 4.
It's my number 2.
I have it at 9, so I guess that goes at 5.
Yeah.
I think we might have to bump everything up 1 anyways.
Well, you were down on Black Panther, right?
Mine is number 7.
Okay, I did a 7 too.
He didn't have it at all. Do we all have Homecoming in top 10?
No, I have it at 11.
I have it at... Well, 11's close. That's...
It's my number 5.
6.
Then put it at 6.
Do we all have Ant-Man top 5? I mean top 10?
No.
No.
No, I was the only one top 10?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you dogged on Ant-Man and Wasp, didn't you?
Yeah.
That was his bottom. That was
That was
his very, very
dead
That
bottom.
was
bottom.
your least favorite
Yeah.
movie? Wow. Wow.
I was miserable in the theater.
Worse than the
All right,
Hulk.
the only thing so we have a list except number 2.
2. So I guess we bump everything up and go for... Hold on.
First Avenger.
I mean, we should go over everything. Civil War,
Got it. Or yeah, that's our
Cap 2.
That's not on here.
Winter
Oh
Soldier.
wait,
Winter
Winter
Soldier.
Soldier. You keep saying Cap 2. It's throwing me off.
Ragnarok. We got that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Endgame, Guardians, Ant-Man. I have Spiderman top 10.
Yeah,
You
you're
talking about
at
Homecoming?
6.
Homecoming's number 6.
Okay, we have that. Okay.
Yeah.
So mine is Panther and Ant-Man. My
Where
top
was
10's
First
on there.
Avenger for you?
The first Avenger
Cat 1.
was number 7.
Cat 1 was 7 for
What'd
you.
you have,
I had it at
Captain?
9.
What'd you have the first Avenger at?
He had it out of his top 10 was.
13.
Okay.
So that might slide in.
That would be
If
10,
you-
and
if you
we bump
slide it-
everything up.
Hang on a
Well,
second.
actually, I was going to say it's probably.
Where's that for you?
Where did you have Avengers 1?
14 behind it.
Where did you have Avengers 1? You had it at 10. Cat 1 probably slides in at 8, and then you move everything up. Because I had it at 9, and he had it at 7.
Do we all have those 2 movies in our top 10? Because I know I don't have Avengers.
What
I have
2?
Iron Man in my top 10. Do you have Iron Man in your top 10?
I have Iron
Yeah,
Man.
Iron Man's my number 6.
I have Iron Man at 15.
Okay, so
So it probably needs to. Because you have it at 10, don't you?
yeah.
Yeah, it probably needs to stay at 10.
Okay.
If you did it, then move Avengers. Move
So-
everything up 1 and then put Cap 1 at 9.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Give me a second.
The top 10 MCU movies of all time. At number 10, we have Iron Man.
At number 9, we have Captain America, the first Avenger.
At number 8, we have the very first Avengers movie.
7, we have Guardians of the Galaxy.
At 6, Thor Ragnarok.
Number 5, Spider-Man Homecoming.
Number 4, Avengers Infinity War.
At number 3, Civil War.
Number 2, The Winter Soldier.
And at number 1, we have Avengers Endgame.
Thank you guys so much for watching Cinetopical. That was our definitive, you can't even argue it, you probably will anyways, top 10 MC movies list. Make sure you like, comment, and I'll tell you what else to do with our channel at the end. But before you do that, make sure you go check out Beer, Bacon, and Bros, our buddies' podcast here. We'll put links down in the section below where you can go check them out. What do y'all talk about on that? I don't even know.
It's a lot of sports talk, things that are going on in the world. Like our very first episode, we talked about the Popeyes chicken versus Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich kind of battle.
Did you talk about how it was a government conspiracy to distract us from the fact that the Amazon rainforest is burning?
It could have been. It could have been. We should have had you in for that topic. So
That was actually my theory. He stole.
yeah,
I read it on the internet. You did too.
Yeah, so we thought there might have been cocaine in the breading in the Popeyes chicken, so there's been some speculations about that. But
Nice.
a lot of it's bro talk, a lot of it is food related, beer related, sports related. We try and keep a wide spectrum when it comes to sports. We're not all just USC Gamecock theories, but A lot of it is just casual bro talk. We get into some wild conversations and some wild opinions, and we love interaction with a lot of our followers. So
Nice.
Yeah.
That's good.
If you like barroom sports, you'll love these guys.
Yeah, seriously. I mean, a lot of it is just a lot of. It's not all guy talk too, and it's not all guy sports. So we do a lot of food and like world culture and some opinions and stuff. So
You definitely do food.
ladies, you are always welcome to come listen in. We give a breakdown in our episode breakdown, so you know, like at the 11-minute mark, we start talking about college
Time
football.
codes.
Yep. Time
Nice.
codes. If you like calling them
Any chance we'll hear any Bachelor talk?
out.
Bachelorette?
You know what?
Bachelor in Paradise?
We have 2 single guys on the podcast, so you might get some Bachelorette talk.
Nice.
Or you might get some Bachelor talk. So there is likely going to be some of that involved.
Good deal. Well, like I said, make sure you go check them out. Link in the description below. As always, when it comes to Cinetopical, like, comment, and subscribe.